Hello everyone, my name is Chris McIntosh. I help teach the capstone courses. Today we're talking about the problem description. By now you should have met with your project preceptor and discussed the basics of your project. You're now ready to write a first draft of your problem description. The purpose of a problem description, which is a paragraph or two, is to convince readers and decision makers in your institution that the problem is serious and that you have identified the gaps needing to be addressed. Thus, a problem can be defined as the gap between the existing state and the desired state of a process. It is a good idea to get a thorough understanding of the local problem early in the process. Understanding the problem being solved and why it's important will help you understand the rationale behind the project objectives. Your project preceptor or someone else in charge of the project should be able to help you answer these questions about the project. You'll also need to write a thorough description of the problem for your project manuscript, so you should get these questions answered. Not every question may be relevant for every project, but this set of questions should help you gain a good understanding of the project and relevant information. What is the problem you're addressing? Why is the problem serious? Who is affected by the problem? How does the problem affect the patient or the system? When is it a problem? Have any trends or patterns been identified? What are the gaps being addressed by this project? What are the costs in time or money, or something else, associated with the problem? Who experiences those costs? Has a cause of the problem been identified? What is it? Is there an existing standard or protocol that is not being followed? What is it? What will happen if the problem is not addressed? Your assignment is to write a 1 to 2 paragraph problem description. Most of this information will likely come from your project preceptor or other project team members. The problem description mainly focuses on the local problem only. There is no need to make broader connections yet, just describe the problem. Pre-writing for this section will consist of gathering the information needed to write an informative and complete description of the problem. Work on a blank page and write a sentence about each piece of information. Organize your information in a logical sequence before trying to write your paragraphs. Selecting a suitable organizational structure before trying to write will make writing easier. Is there a chronological order to the information? Is there some sort of spatial way information relevant to the study is organized? Is some information about the problem more important? Is there a cause and effect component to the problem? Should things be logically presented in themes? There are many potential ways to organize and present information. Writing for this section will consist of assembling the information you gathered and organized during pre-writing into cohesive paragraphs. I will be looking for well-formed paragraphs with topic sentences and supporting statements. AI prompts to help turn sentences into paragraphs and craft topic sentences are available on my GitHub page at the link above. You're not required to use these tools, but they may help make the process a bit easier and produce a more polished finished product. Here are some rewriting or editing tips. We'll be doing 2 main types of editing for your papers: substantive editing and copy editing. Substantive editing deals with the text as a whole, basic content, and organization. Copy editing deals with correcting spelling and grammar problems. Students are required to use Grammarly. If you haven't installed the Grammarly plugin for Word already, please do so before writing this assignment. ChatGPT is also a useful editing tool. You can ask ChatGPT to improve individual sentences or paragraphs. In addition, prompts to evaluate the comprehensiveness of content coverage have been written for each section of your manuscript. You should evaluate your text using the prompt at the link provided above before submitting your draft. This is a substantive pre-edit of your work. You should be using Grammarly for help with copy editing. With the widespread availability and easy access to so many writing tools, you should never submit work that contains spelling and grammar errors. Double-checking your work before submitting your drafts is your responsibility. Contact your professor if you need help learning how to use these tools. It goes without saying that you alone are responsible for the content of your own paper. Never use anything without reviewing it first. There is a difference between getting help revising content you create and having another source create content for you. Professional editing services can cost between $50 to $120 per hour on average. It can save you time and money to use appropriate tools available to you. Reverse outlining is a good way to check paragraph cohesiveness. If you organize your text during the pre-writing step, this check will go quickly. Highlight your topic sentences with light gray. Topic sentences should be the first sentence or two of a paragraph. Then review each supporting sentence in the paragraph and assess how strongly each sentence relates to the topic sentences. Does each sentence closely relate to the topic? Do any sentences deviate from the main topic of the paragraph? If you find a paragraph has more than one main central topic, you should consider creating new paragraphs so each paragraph has only one central topic. This section focuses on the local problem. There are a number of things you should avoid in this section. Avoid citing a lot of sources. If you do cite sources, they should most likely be local sources. Avoid writing in generalities. Description of wider trends, patterns, and considerations seen outside the local setting should happen in the available knowledge section of the paper, not the problem description section. Pick an organizational structure for the information you present. Don't present a random collection of sentences. Avoid creating paragraphs that are overly long or overly short. Paragraphs should usually have around 3 to 7 sentences. It's better to have more than 2 paragraphs than to have paragraphs that contain multiple topics that aren't clearly related. That's all we'll do in this video. There is more to come. I look forward to reading your work.